Hello, this is Brennan Wilmington of the Left Turn Network, and we are back with another Lumen Stock Car Invitational race. This is season number 3, race number 11. We are here at the Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. That's a lot of Kansas. For, I believe, our 4th mile and a half of the season. But a lot of the mile and a halves this season have been kind of a little bit closer to pack races than a normal mile and a half, but this one is a lot closer to a classic mile and a half in terms of how the I&I is set up. Kansas has been a very good track for us in the past. I'm very excited about this race. Joining me in the booth today is a Kansas native himself. It is NASCAR Man. And NASCAR Man, you
Hello.
not only is this a track that you've been to multiple times, not only is this your home track, it's also a track where you actually set up the I&I for this particular racetrack. So you, of all people, should know how this track races better than anybody else. Can you give us kind of an idea of what to expect here in today's race?
See, this is not your typical Kansas of the past couple of years because it is the immediate post repay of Kansas, so it's still fresh asphalt, and the top line is not as strong as it is in real life, but they still do slide around. It's going to be hot, which is going to help them sliding around more. But as you did say, it is not your typical pack super speedway or speedway like what we've seen in the past couple races. It does get more strung out, but they still do like to pass each other because they do get a very strong draft going on the max straightaway into the corners, which does help with slide jobs, as we're going to probably see a lot of today.
There's also the curved front stretch D oval section also gives a lot of time for drivers to build up momentum through there and try and make passes in turn one. Very fun track
Yeah.
indeed. Here is Jack Gino, who won the last mile and a half race that we ran back at Las Vegas. It feels like ages ago, but it was only a few races ago. Uh, he's going to start on pole again here today. Uh, and let's go through our starting lineup. There we go. That's the right camera I want to use. It is Jack Gino in the number 65 Diamond Motorsports Honda. Alongside him is the 99 car of Kia Tajima. Row number 2 is the 29 of JB Chanot, the Salina, Kansas native. So this is her home track, looking to get a win here today. Starts third, already off to a good start this weekend for the 29 of JB Chanot. Lori Jackson starts alongside Chanot in the number 7 car. Row number 3 is Montana Sherman in the 3 and the 25 of Luana Connie. Row number 4 is the 52 of Adrienne Frieson, who was oh so close to winning Daytona last week. She starts top 10 again today, so she's got another good shot at getting a win here at Kansas. And alongside her is the 66 car of Tyler Landry, who also had a good run at Daytona. 57 car, Shauna Everett, starting in row number 5 alongside the 2 car of Nathan Buchanan, making his 3rd race of the season. Then it's Laken Herndon in the number 39 car, and the 18 of Zach Dearman alongside him. The 85 of Charlie McCarron, 3rd in points right now, starting alongside the 55 of Michael Harvin. Tim Berry, who's 2nd in points, starts right behind Charlie McCarron, alongside the 70 car of Andrew Kreider. Then it's the 58 car. This is not Ryan Silva. Ryan Silva left the Diamond Motorsports team after DNQing the Lumen 500. He is not in today's race. Instead, it is Cheryl Simmons driving the 58. This is the 3rd different car that Simmons has driven. She will be running most of the remaining races of the season in this car, with exception to the races she was already scheduled to run for Diamond Motors or Double Eagle Racing. So Cheryl Simmons trying to wheel this 2nd Diamond Motorsports entry to some sort of good run, as it has been struggling for a very long time. Alongside her is another driver who's been struggling for a very long time, the 27 car of Oscar Duval. Then it's Tamarin Bellinger rebounding from the big crash that they suffered at Daytona. 1 week later, they actually topped the practice session run just before qualifying, and they're starting around mid-pack here in the number 32. And alongside them is the 45 car of Rebecca Raymond. Then it's Kobe Hollenbeck in the 79 in the Worldwide Express car, which we haven't seen since Willow Springs. And the 77 of JT Boyd, the winner at Oregon, 6th in points right now, currently leading the Rookie of the Year standings. Here's another rookie, Adrian Wheeler, looking for his first top 10 of the season, but back down in 26th in points. It has not been that great a season, but he has made every race, so he at least gets some credit for putting his car in the show every week. The 01 car of George Bryan alongside Wheeler. Then it's your points leader, Darren Walker, not starting too high in the field, starting pretty deep in the field. He's going to have to make up some spots if he wants to hang on to that points lead because it's only 4 points over Tim Berry. And alongside him is the 88 car of Joe Smith, who I'm sure is very happy after his son Billy Smith, who's not in the race today, won last week in the Lumen 500. Cooper Spur in the 24 car alongside the 16 of Corbin Taps. Spur has been pretty good at this track in the past. He led a lot of laps and finished second in season 1. I think he had a pretty good run in season 2 as well. So look out for the 24 car here today. Kate Summers in the number 92 alongside the 1 of Jacob Lopez, the defending champion. Latanya Gray and Karina Willis-Callaway starting deep in the field. That's 4th place in points. Another driver that's going to have to make up some solid ground here on this race. Kevin DuPont in the 98 car and Ashley Blake in the 36, starting row 17. And rounding out the field is the 62 of Vinny Scholes. And one more thing before we get going with this race. This is our annual Pride race. We have 6 LGBT plus drivers in the field, and each and every one of them have a special Pride spoiler for this race. There's the Wanakani in the number 25. We have Lakin Herndon in the number 39. It's not the easiest to spot them at this part of the track due to the lighting. Charlie McCarron in the 85. And we have Tamron Bellinger in the 32 car. The 92 of Kate Summers, and the 41 of Karina Willis-Callaway. This is the 3rd year in a row that we've done this. It was at Daytona in season 1, Sonoma in season 2, and this season it is at Kansas. We are proud to have an inclusive and safe community here at the Left Turn Network, and this is just one of the ways that we show that. Waiting for the command to start engines here, which should be any moment now. There it is.
Your engines!
And the field will roll off the back straightaway as soon as the pace car starts accelerating. Well, NASCAR man, it's going to be a 67-lap race here today. Should be a one-stop race. There might be cautions, though, so I don't know if we'll have that much pit strategy. But even then, they can make it on one stop. But who do you think is going to win here today at Kansas?
I was going to say the 32 car until they started mid-pack, so that kind of stalled out the 32 a little bit. I am, however, looking at the 2 car. The 2 car made it by the slimmest of margins, but with how strong those drivers have been in the LSCI Amateur Series, I am definitely looking at the 2 car.
Pace car rolled off. Jack Gino and Akiya Tajima will lead them into turn number 1, and we're green flag racing here at Kansas.
65 car got a really good jump there on the field. Gonna probably start fanning out into 3 there.
Sherman takes them 3 wide. Here comes Fearson with a run through turns 3 and 4. Oh, be careful off of turn 4. There's not that much room out of there. And Jack Gino will lead lap number 1 in the number 65, picking up right where he left off. We're crashing on the front straightaway. Lakin Herndon, George Bryan, the 77 of JT Boyd, and we're already under caution. Darren Walker, the points leader, is involved in the accident.
Huge points implications there.
Cheryl Simmons involved in the 58. Cooper Spur is involved. McCarron might have a bit of damage as well. And we're under caution on lap 2. And JB Chanot thinks she has the lead. She's going ahead of the pace car. I'm not sure what she's doing, but Gino was the leader last time by. But it doesn't look like Chanot appears to be pitting, and Chanot will let the pace car back by. So Chanot's the first of those that ended up staying out. So we have a bit of a split strategy here early in the race. Some cars coming in and taking tires, I assume, and a bunch of others staying out. So the grid will be shuffled. Rebecca Raymond in the 45. More damage on the 45 car. This has been a very common sight this season. So a multi-car pileup on the front stretch on lap number 2, and that's kind of expected. We've experienced a lot of early crashes at this track, but usually they will get it back going. They just got to get it out of their system. But Darren Walker, probably the biggest driver involved in that, and that is huge news for Tim Berry in the 11, as he will try to take the points lead back, and they're going to try and send the 8 car back out there. They're going to rip the hood off it. That car might be off the pace, so he will be on DVP watch for sure. And McCarran does have some right side damage, so bad crash for the Walker Brothers racing machines, as 2 of them were involved in that accident. So we'll get you a race replay of what happened there in the accident. JB Chanot, Akiya Tajima lead a Columbia Motorsports 1-2 after they both decide not to pit. And we will get back with the restart here early in the going at Kansas Speedway. 4 wide on lap 1 here at Kansas, and that is going to cause the first caution of the day. Lakin Herndon ends up getting the worst of it, the 58 of Cheryl Simmons, and Herndon gets hit hard in the driver's side by Charlie McCarran. There's actually 2 separate points of contact there, as the 45 got spun out by JT Boyd, and then Boyd ended up getting involved in the accident as well. George Bryan is involved. The 8 of Darren Walker got a big piece of it. That's going to be a lot of damage on the 8 car. Charlie McCarran got involved as well. Cooper Spur, Cheryl Simmons among those that got damage in this. Rebecca Raymond in the 45 also involved. So definitely some heavy hitters here today, and definitely not what they wanted to see early in the race for sure.
Yeah, C2 or 2 rows to 4 wide just isn't going to work. The 45, 77, and I think the 16 all make contact there. The 39 got a big hit. The 77 took a big hit. I think the 65 also took a big hit there, but just not, you just can't make 4 wide work at really any track outside of Talladega. I don't know what they were thinking.
There's 2 rows of 4 wide. That was the 58 of Cheryl Simmons that you saw there. Jack Gino actually won the race back to the caution, and then he proceeded to give up the lead by pitting under the yellow. So we got some split strategy here at Kansas, and we'll see how that works out as the race goes along. We'll get you back to the restart here on lap number 6. Oh boy, we were not done with the accidents, as under caution we had a stack up involving the 8, the 85, the 45, and a lot of the cars that were already involved in that accident just getting more damage. And that is the second time in about a month that Rebecca Raymond has crashed under caution. But this time it wasn't her fault. They just all stacked up in front of her. And it looked like she was gonna be fine if that didn't happen. And now, a lot of damage on front and rear for Raymond. And that is going to make the damage worse on our first place and third place cars in points. Welcome back here at Kansas Speedway. We're about to take the green flag on the restart on lap number 6 of the race after a crash on the opening lap in the D-Oval. Pace car will pull off. It is the Kansas native, JB Chanot, who will lead them back to the green. Teammate Akiya Tajima starts in second. And that's a good restart by Tajima. Good jump, but not really anywhere to go with it. Now he's going to cross under his teammate. A great restart by Tajima. Shauna Everett, Zach Dearman, and Tim Berry round out your top 5. Berry looking to gain some points on Darren Walker after he was involved in that accident. How about the rookie, Adrian Wheeler, peeking to the inside of Berry, trying to get himself into the top 5. Everett's going to move up to second. Oh, that's going to be tight there with Hollenbeck and Wheeler, but they keep it together. Chanot holding on to third for now. Looking back in the field, the 45 has gone down the pit lane several times, so she might actually be on pit loop watch. And we see all these damaged race cars aren't horribly off the pace except for the 24 of Cooper Spur, who is topping out at probably about 165. So
Yeah.
he'll probably end up DVP'd. We'll keep an eye on the 45 of Raymond as well for pit loop watch. It is a hornet's nest back here. There's several rows of 3 wide. Oh, Adrian Wheeler has slid
up a little
back
bit,
since
maybe?
the restart. And he is way back there now. Everett closing in on Akia Tajima in the 99. And they've put a bit of a gap. How about Columbia Motorsports? First, third, and fourth right now. Their other car, Herndon, was involved in that accident, but running pretty strong here. Kate Summers has found her way up here as well, so that is 4 Toyotas in the top 5. And I believe the only Toyota to win a race this season, or no, there's been 2 Toyotas that have won races this season. JT Boyd at Oregon and Kobe Hollenbeck at Iowa. And we are going to... We might DQ the 45 for pit looping here soon.
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
They're putting tires on. We'll see how that works out. Oh boy, they're getting dicey right here. Pearson and Latanya Gray on the inside lane. And it's a conga line down there. Luana Connie also joining them as Chanot and Summers slip back in the 29 and 92. Here comes Oscar Duvall showing up in the top 10, and Karina Willis-Callaway, who could definitely gain some points on the Hondas since they were both in the wreck. Here's Raymond. Again, we'll keep an eye on the 45, but I think if she comes back into the pits one more time, then we'll probably park her for pit looping. Everett is right on the back bumper of Tajima.
No, see, the 57 was looking lower. It seems like they do have a run now. Maybe gonna try to get him in 1.
Underneath, here comes Everett in the number 57.
Yeah, just use the air to shove the 99 out of the groove and be able to take a spot into 3 now.
Good pass there by Everett. It'll put her in front. And Rebecca Raymond's day is going to be over. She'll go back out there and complete one more lap, but she'll head straight back into the pits. Oscar Duvall working his way through the field. So we were kind of roasting him before the recording started about how he's had a pretty difficult run here at NH Motorsports. Trying to get a good run here today in that 27 car. Oh boy, that was tight right there. Sliding in front of the 81 of Latanya Gray. And Gray won this race last year in the 81. Pretty sure she started near the back in today's race. So already lap 14, and she's found her way inside the top 5. So that 81 looks fast. Oh, we missed a pass for the lead. Tajima got it back from Shauna Everett. These two are swapping it back and forth. Everett might have a run out of turn 4.
I saw the 99 start to cross over the D7 when we went to the 45, but you were too focused on the pit looping car to see the pass. Oh, and there's the lap car in the way now.
Cooper Spur is going to hold up the 99 and 57. That's on me. I should have caused him to pull off the track earlier. I noted he was slow. And we will pull the 24 off the track once it's safe to do so. Adrian Pearson did catch up to the leaders as a result of that. That's 2 Blake Everett Motorsports cars there. And here comes Everett looking underneath the 99 of Tajima for the lead. Oh, Tajima trying to use the outside. They're both sliding up. Here comes Pearson. She had a huge run, but nowhere to go with it. Here comes Latanya Gray and Oscar Duvall.
Dragging the 81 and the 27 in. They all just kind of slid up into the high side and gave the 99 a bit of a run, and then really helped the 52, 81, and 27 there.
Everett back underneath the 99 of Tajima. Nathan Buchanan trying to join the battle as well in the 2 car. He's shown up to 6th. Fearson underneath Tajima for 2nd to try and make it a Blake Everett Motorsports 1-2. This team's still looking for their first win as an organization. And their odds are looking pretty good right now. LaTanya Gray's going to get stuck in the middle. But it looks like she's going to get 3rd out of it.
Pull out of that. Probably thinking that he needs to just keep his car in one piece at this point, considering how his season's gone, so not gonna try 3 wide into 1 there. Buchanan's gonna try to get around the 27 now, along with the 99 and the 81, getting up ahead of them.
Tajima up to 3rd again. Buchanan going to try and make a move on the 81 car of LaTanya Gray to try and move up to 4th. And I'll have to check on Cooper Spur here. I think we can pull him off the track now. He's out of everybody's way.
Well,
so Cooper Spur's day will end as well due to the DVP. Here comes Adrienne Fearson underneath her teammate, Shauna Everett. And Fearson's going to go for the lead in the number 52. And I kind of wondered.
Huge run, too.
Oh my god, Tajima.
Tajima going to try to go 2-1 now.
He's going for the lead. But Fearson is going to slam the door on him. This is some excellent racing up front. Here's Buchanan underneath Everett.
For 3rd.
Gray following suit. It is a 5, you could maybe call it 7-car battle, as Duval and Lopez are not too far behind. For the lead here, and Adrienne Fearson. I was wondering how Fearson would respond after her good day at Daytona. You gotta imagine, you know, like I mentioned in the pre-race, she had this was her best run in a very long time back at Daytona. She finished 3rd. She was leading on the final restart, but it was a soul-crushing defeat for Fearson. And she's responding very strongly here at Kansas. She lost the lead there to Tajima, but she's still up in 2nd. She's having a phenomenal drive once again here in the number 52 car. And they're bottled up here
again
for 3rd.
Looking for 3rd.
Buchanan's looking very impressive in the 2 car. This is the fastest we've seen the 2 car this year. So, very interesting to see Buchanan.
The amateur drivers for Appalachia are definitely very hot prospects for Chevrolet, and you can see why with Buchanan already looking very fast here today.
Appalachia's 1, 2, 3 in the points in amateurs right now. Buchanan 2nd in points. Oh, Fearson. Oh my goodness, she got into the back of Tajima. Almost turned him there. She's getting aggressive in this 52. This might be the most aggressive we've ever seen Adrienne Fearson. Maybe she's got a chip on her shoulder after that one that slipped away last week. Buchanan back underneath LaTanya Gray for 3rd, and this time he's got some buddies with him. Oscar Duval, Shauna Everett, Jacob Lopez, and Montana Sherman has now joined the fight in the 3 car. He is in 8th. And then it's a ways back to Karina Willis-Callaway, Michael Harvin and Joe Smith battling for 10th, with Hollenbeck and Wheeler just behind. Duval now going underneath Gray. He's going to take the 4th position away. And Fearson is hounding down that 99 car right on the back bumper of Tajima, not giving him any room whatsoever to drive away. I think we're good on lap cars for now. The 77 doesn't look too terribly off the pace, so I don't think we have to DVP anybody else. Oh, Fearson had to check up in the corner there. She's going to try and get a run out of the corner, though. She might have it if she can get underneath them into turn 3. Here she comes. Buchanan
looking on the bottom. Buchanan looking in the middle. Ooh, did they make contact there?
The bumper. That's the 2nd time someone's gotten into the back of Tajima in this run. And Buchanan's going to try and move into 2nd, as Fearson runs away with the lead.
Pearson running away with the lead. The 81's going to try another slide job and job like what she tried with Buchanan there, and that's going to let Lopez maybe try to get 2 for 1 now.
Lopez under Gray. Duval going to try and follow Lopez underneath the 81, and Latanya Gray is going to lose a couple of positions out of that corner. Buchanan trying to catch up to Pearson. The leader has not been able to drive away whatsoever in this race. And Buchanan now right on the back bumper of Adrian Pearson in the 52.
Buchanan gonna peak low, not gonna be able to get much of a run in the 3 now. Maybe gonna try to use the ball he did with the 99.
Pearson's been great at defensive driving so far in this race. Lap number 27, 28 here. And this is about when these different strategies are going to start coming into play. In about 10 laps, we'll see the drivers that did not pit under the first caution come in first, and then a few laps later, we'll see the cars that did pit under the last caution come in, assuming that we stay green up to that point. Here comes Buchanan in the 2 car underneath Adrian Pearson, and we're looking at another lead change here at Kansas. We've had quite a few of them in this run. Buchanan will lead the lap. Lopez is up to 3rd. He is driving through the field, trying to catch the 52 in the 2.
Second now. Not gonna be able to get there on the back straightaway. Maybe in the front stretch so we can get a go 3 and 4. And maybe drag the 99 with him.
Tajima's got to run on the 1 car. He might make a move for 3rd
be
here.
the 1.
And there he goes
Tajima's
underneath.
looking for 3rd now.
This 99 has been very strong here today. Even in traffic, it's been behaving pretty well. He's going to pull a slide job on the 1 car of Lopez, and he's going to do it. As Pearson and Buchanan kind of trying to pull away from these guys. Duval going for 5th.
Duval looking on Gray.
Everett
also looking on Gray. Thanks.
Karina Willis-Callaway running in the top 10. Very familiar sight this season. She has been outstanding this year. I bet you if she didn't D&Q at Atlanta, she'd be right up there with Darren Walker and Tim Berry in terms of the points. She is back to season 1 form this season, and it's been great to see. Holy cow, here comes Michael Harvin on the inside. Both cars in front of him slide up the track. He might get a twofer here, but Sherman's able to stay ahead.
Callaway is definitely in the best spot for points now, with Walker and McCarran damaged. And I don't even know where. Oh,
look out on the front stretch. He's going to pull down to the apron, and that should avoid any issues in terms of crashes, but he's going to stop on the racetrack. That might be a caution.
Well,
he's not going to make it back to the pits. Let's see if the yellow does come out. He stopped. No caution, it appears, for Joe Smith blowing up. And he makes it back to the pit lane. So we stay green. But Joe Smith, I believe he is 6th in the points. He's 8th in the points. So that's definitely not going to help him in the standings for sure. He might fall out of the top 10, depending on where some of these other guys end up finishing. Definitely not ideal for the 88 car. We are now just past halfway here at Kansas. Buchanan got a drive out of the corner really early, but he slid up the track, and now Pearson's right back to the bumper of Buchanan. Pearson's trying to get runs out of the corner, and Buchanan's kind of trying to send it on entry. Here comes Pearson to the inside.
Pearson gonna push the 2 up the track with the air again.
Pearson was not able to keep it on the bottom of the track. They're still side by side going into turn number 3.
Buchanan gonna try to make the middle highline work. He's not gonna be able to do it.
Pearson back in front in the number 52. Tajima's closing in on both of them as they battle.
Tajima is absolutely flying now with these 2 racing each other as hard as they have.
Tajima tried to make a move on Buchanan there, but Buchanan was able to get down there before Tajima did. And now Buchanan might be looking on the 52 going into turn 3. See if he peaks low. He will not. Waiting for the right moment to try and get back underneath the 52. All three of them hooked the bottom pretty well. Buchanan had to get out of the gas a bit. Here comes the 99 of Tajima going for second. And we have a few slower lap cars, but they're not slow enough to get DVP'd. So they are fine in terms of staying in the race, but the fact that they're going side by side and they're still a little bit slower than the leaders does not bode well for these leaders for sure. Fearson's trying to pull away. Tajima trying to chase it up the track there, right behind Buchanan. And these top three, I think they've established themselves as the three fastest cars by now. Fearson's going to catch the lap car of JT Boyd and the 8 car of Darren Walker. Going to try and put them a lap down. We'll see how Fearson will deal with the 77. She's going to go underneath Boyd. Looks like Buchanan and Tajima will also get underneath the 77 of Boyd. And they also have to deal with Walker. Oh, Buchanan really got out of he really checked up in the middle of the corner right there. And look at the lead that's given the 52. And look at the holding up the 77's doing. The 8 kind of held up Fearson as well. Lap cars definitely playing a factor here in this battle for the lead. Buchanan slid up. Here comes Tajima on the inside. Oh, the 77's blocking his teammate, Oscar Duval. Oh, Tajima's pitting. And here we go. The pit cycle's going to start right now. I'm pretty sure that's scheduled. Oh, the 70 had a fuel system failure, but that was a scheduled stop for Tajima.
Yes, I think the first of the ones that have that hit earlier is Buchanan. I don't think Everett hit another first restart or first caution, whatever.
Herndon's coming in. The 70 car's off the pace because he had a fuel system failure. Let's see when the 52 and 2 end up pitting. They won't pit this time.
8
Lopez
pitting,
is pitting.
1 pitting, 77 or 27. Excuse me, 57.
Chanot's
29.
We know she stayed out. She led them on the restart. So we'll see how they cycle out here during this pit cycle. Tajima exiting the pits right now. Let's try and find Fearson in the 52. And Fearson will stay out an extra lap, but Buchanan is going to try and undercut her. So a very wide
that we're
pit
seeing
cycle.
Buchanan pit as early as he is now.
And we have a bunch of cars pitting this time by like Taps, Wheeler, Dearman, the Pacific cars of Kate Summers and Tamron Bellinger. But Fearson trying to stretch it a little bit on these tires. She'll stay out another lap as
Still not
Gray
hitting
comes in and pit.
as well. There's Gray.
Harvin's still out there as well, trying to overcut the field. I don't believe these cars have pitted yet either. Ashley Blake, the Season 1 winner here at Kansas. Jack Gino, our pole sitter, and the 79 of Kobe Hollenbeck. There's Buchanan leaving the pits. So we still have a bunch of cars that have yet to make their stop. Fearson's in now. Harvin's in now. And it looks like everyone else will make their pit stops here on lap 43, except the 66 of Tyler Landry. And there is Tajima, who has pitted already. He's out ahead of the 2 car, who's dealing with lap traffic. He's dealing with Darren Walker a second time. Lopez also caught up behind the 8 car, and this is what Tajima wants to see. Charlie McCarron. Oh, be careful. Do not LePage the field. You did not want to see that. Landry's coming in. They're going to be 3 wide. McCarron rolls out of it, though. So Landry pits now, and that should end the pit cycle. And here's Fearson exiting the pits, and Tajima flies on past her. I believe The 99 is the leader with the 1 car in second. I don't think the 01 is on the lead lap. Buchanan will cycle to third. Then it will be Duvall and Gray. Fearson will slide all the way down to about 7th or 8th, but she'll have the freshest tires of most of these leaders. They've not cycled out completely. Here comes Lopez in the 1 car. And he's going to take the lead away from the 99 of Tajima. They have cycled out by now. The ticker is not updated yet. Landry was the last one to pit. And he's leaving the pits right now. So that was a long stop for the 66. And
Find
now
that around the
Lopez is your
99.
leader.
I think, maybe not.
Buchanan behind the lap car of George Bryan here. The 88 retired due to a piston failure. So that's not ideal for Joe Smith. He will finish in 33rd today. But it's the defending champion, Jacob Lopez, out in front. Akiya Tajima trying to run him down in second. And then it's Buchanan, Duvall, and Gray rounding out the top 5. Andrew Kreider is not on the lead lap. Neither is the 85 of Charlie McCarron. I believe they did damage repair on the 85, and they tried to fix the fuel system on the 70. So Fearson is the car in 6th place. She is 2.5 seconds back of 5th place, so she's probably going to want to hope for a caution if she wants a chance at this. Because if they do get a caution, she'll be in a pretty good spot because her tires will be the freshest out of all the drivers up here. Here comes Fearson underneath the lap 70. Back up front. I believe the 66 is that far back just because of how long he decided to stay out.
Probably, yeah.
Duvall under Buchanan for third. This is the kind of run Oscar Duvall is desperately needed. It has been a rough go of it in the 27. These three all about a second back of the leader, trying to catch up to them. As Lopez and Tajima continue to pace the field. And now LaTanya Gray is making a move on Buchanan for 4th. Buchanan trying to use the high line, but there's not enough grip up there, and Gray will take the spot. There is Fearson. She is closing in on these guys. 3.5 seconds the last time by, whereas when we checked before, it was about 4.7. And she gained another 0.2 there, so we'll see if those tires will be able to carry her up to the lead. Everett came in and pitted a second time. She had a tire failure.
Yeah, that would do it.
That's bad news for Shauna Everett, as she will go a lap down. And that is going to ruin her race. We saw her up in the top 10 in that first run. Here comes Duvall. He's got a head of steam. He's closing in on the leaders, along with the 81 of LaTanya Gray. Duvall possibly going to look on Tajima for second here soon, as we approach 15 laps to go. Jacob Lopez has about a 1-second lead, but we'll see if Duvall or Gray or any of these guys will have anything for him as the run goes on. Here comes Fearson. I tell you what, this 52 is not out of it yet, but she's got the freshest tires up here. If she can get up in this lead battle, then she might have a chance. But Lopez is starting to set sail here, pull away from second, third, and fourth. Gray has passed Duvall for third. I don't know, we'll see. 1.1 seconds that last time by. This one car is absolutely flying. Oh, Zach Dearman stopped on the track. And it looks like he got back into the pits, and I don't think we're under caution for that either. We're not.
Well,
So that's 2 cars. Yep, an engine failure. 905, a catastrophic engine failure for Zach Dearman, and that is the 5th place car in points. That's the 2nd top 10 in points driver. Ooh, that was tight there. DuPont and Chanot. The 2nd car in the top 10 in points that has had an engine failure in this race. And it will take them out of the race. Tanya Gray's now 2nd. Duval is 3rd. Tajima slipped back to 4th. And here comes Fearson with teammate Shauna Everett in tow.
Landon and Everett looking to... Oh, they're going to go 3 wide across the line. Maybe.
You don't want to go 3 wide. Everett, you're a lap car. You don't need to pass Fearson. But Fearson's up to 5th, and she's now 2.1 seconds back of the leader. But is there enough time for her to get to Lopez?
Duval around the 81. Oh.
These 3 keep battling for 2nd. None of them are really breaking away to try and catch up to the 1 of Lopez. 11 laps to go for Jacob Lopez, trying to become the first driver in LSCI history to win 5 races in the Cup Series. He's got a 1.2 second lead. This 52 car is flying though. But she's got to deal with all these cars in front battling for position. Maybe she can get some help from Shauna Everett, who's on even fresher tires than she is, because she had to come in and pit because she blew a tire. That time by Duval closed in a little bit, but only by about a 10th. Fearson trying to get by Tajima for 4th. Oh, right on the quarter panel of the 99. She had to get out of it to not wreck him. And it's pretty clear that this 52, like, look at these lap times right here. 33, 34, 32, 34, 30. Oh, it's very clear that she's got the fastest car out of these leaders right now. But she's having trouble getting past these guys. Here we go. Coming to 8 laps to go for Jacob Lopez. They continue to battle behind.
Lopez looks like definitely benefiting from them all battling each other now, so.
Absolutely. Duval closed in by a couple tenths that last time by. We'll see if he can maybe make a late rally. LaTanya Gray in 3rd, trying to look for back-to-back wins at Kansas. Fearson back in 4th. Still 2 seconds back of the leader. She was closing pretty fast earlier in the run, but it's starting to even. I think the tires might be starting to even out after she kind of had trouble getting by Tajima. Duval gains again, but not by a whole lot. Everett gets by the 81 of Gray. This might set up Fearson for a pass to try and get 2 consecutive podiums in that 52 car. And we're starting to get to the point of no return, where a caution, if it were to come out, would end the race. Everett now underneath the 27 of Duval. Fearson is to the back of LaTanya Gray. Duval's going to slide up the track. Is Fearson going to take it 3 wide? Gray slides up the track. Fearson will get by Gray. Fearson might get by the 27 of Duval. And if she can complete this pass on Duval... Oh, Duval's still in front, but Fearson's still trying. She's sliding up the track. If Fearson can make this pass on Duval, she might have a shot at Lopez, but Lopez is pretty far ahead. 5 laps to go. Adrian Fearson is 1.3 seconds back. Oh boy. Is there enough time for Fearson? We know she's got the tires to do it. But the laps are winding down quickly. She also has help from her teammate Shauna Everett if she needs it. JT Boyd off the pace. Not sure if Lopez is going to run into him. 4 laps to go. 1.2 seconds now back to the 52. And both of these Blake Everett Motorsports cars trying to reel in the 57, not on the lead lap, but still going to try and help out her teammate. They are reeling in that one car, but the question is there enough laps left for them to get there?
It's one thing to catch him, but it is another thing to pass him, and I don't know if they have enough time to be able to get around him, especially with the 57 being a lap car.
They're still gaining, but they're not gaining as much. And now Duval has a run on the 52 of Pearson. It's looking like another heartbreak here for Adrian Pearson, 2 weeks in a row in that 52 car. And Lopez is driving away. Coming to 2 laps to go, trying to become the all-time wins leader in the LSCI. Last year's champion, Jacob Lopez. Got it down to a second. She's still gaining, but not gaining enough. She needs to be gaining more than that. Everett is reeling him in faster than Pearson is. But I don't know. I don't think there's enough time. I think they're going to run out of time. Coming to the white flag. Out of turn number 4. 1 lap to go for Jacob Lopez, looking for his first win of the season in his title defense. It got off to a slow start for Lopez. Had a rough few first races of the year. But he started to pick it up over the last few races. Down the back straightaway here at Kansas. The Blake Everett Motorsports cars are not going to catch him. Coming out of turns 3 and 4. Jacob Lopez is going to come home victorious. And he is going to win it here at Kansas Speedway. Adrian Pearson will finish in 2nd. Karina Willis-Callaway is going to steal 3rd. Duval finishes 4th, and Montana Sherman rounds out the top 5. And then it's Gray, Tajima, Buchanan, Harvin, and Barry, your top 10. Big points days there for both Barry and Karina Willis-Callaway. We'll see how that shakes up the points. And man, once again, she was half a second back of Lopez. If there was a few more laps, she might have had it. Heartbreak for the 2nd week in a row for Adrian Pearson. Let's look at our full race results here. Jacob Lopez winning. This is his 5th career win, and this will put him alone at the top of the winningest drivers list, breaking a tie with Jack Gino in the 65. Adrian Pearson finishes 2nd. We ran down our top 10 already. Corbin Taps with a solid run in 11th. JB Chanot, the Kansas native, finishes in 13th. 23 cars finish the race on the lead lap. And 31 cars will finish the race in general, the last of which being Shauna Everett 2 laps down. Zach Dearman blew a valve, Joe Smith blew a piston, and Cooper Spur and Rebecca Raymond both got DVP'd after getting involved on the lap 2 accident. Well, that was a fun race at the end. Lopez's team definitely nailed the pit stop there. And NASCAR man, what did you think of that race? And maybe you can give us a bit of a preview for next week's race, which will be at Dover.
Very good race. It did string out a little bit there with the pit strategy, probably due in large part to the 57 having to pit again, and then the 2 also pitting again after pitting in the restart. Now Dover, I'm not exactly familiar with because there are multiple versions of Dover that I've seen used, but it will be a very interesting race. Probably very pit strategy based like this race was. But we're just gonna have to see with that one.
And we will be using the Nextel 05 version of Dover, which is basically a reskinned OG Dover. So that'll be interesting. We're going to try and get another guest commentator to call that race with us next week. We'll see if he will be available for it. But if not, that's okay. that was a pretty solid race here at Kansas, especially around the middle of the race. That's the swapping for the lead back and forth was definitely the highlight. But in the end, Motor Racing Ventures, this is their first win as a team this season after winning 5 races last season, 3 of them with Lopez. And Lopez is now the first driver in LSCI to hit 5 career wins. So definitely congratulations to him and congratulations to Motor Racing Ventures on the win today. Like I mentioned before, the next race will be at the Dover Motor Speedway. That's going to be a interesting one for sure. That was another race that Jacob Lopez won last year. He did it in dominating fashion. But we'll see if he'll be able to pull it off again. And that's going to conclude today's broadcast. On behalf of NASCAR Man and myself, this is Brendan Wilmington from the Left Turn Network, signing out.